We're about to do a fucking interview and the guy takes a fucking bass solo.
There you go. Hi, this is Joe Basso with Music Radar, and I'm sitting here with Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Ron. There you go. My Jersey friend. So how's it going?
Everything's good, man. I just had 3 shots of Jaeger. I'm all shit-faced, shit-hammered, and we finally get to hang out and just bullshit a little. This is my first time playing the guitar in about 2 weeks since being off the road. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
So we're here at Vigier Guitars, of which you have a long history. How did you get involved with the company?
Oh man, it was back in '97, and I was doing a tour, like a little clinic sort of tour in France, and one of their reps, he gave me a guitar. He said, "Hey, check this out, see what you think." And at that point, I was building my own guitars. I would make all these weird guitars. I wasn't really looking for an endorsement, but I played them, and they just felt really, really good.
Right.
Yeah. And we started talking. I said, "Look, I make these weird guitars. Would you guys be willing to come up with things and let me stay, you know, creative on that end of it and just work with me on that?" And they were cool with that. So we made this one guitar that looked like a giant foot. You bend the vibrato bar and the wings pop out of the sides, like crazy shit like that. I had the Swiss cheese guitar. They made replicas of it. So yeah, and then, you know, they make these fretless guitars, so for a lot of the gun stuff, I need to have both at once. And so they made me a double neck that has a fretless on top, a fretted on the bottom.
Right.
And it's one of the main things I use for a lot of my stuff and a lot of the gun stuff. Even, I mean, besides the stuff I did on Chinese, even if you listen to the stuff off of Appetite, you know, they're playing, and then suddenly there's an overdub slide that just comes in doing something. I can switch to that neck, hit it, and then jump back. So it really is like the greatest guitar to use for all the guns shit.
I was going to ask, you know, does the actual sound of a Vigier guitar, does it inspire, the actual sound?
It does. At least when you're doing like a fretless guitar, you know, you start noodling around and you start coming up with sounds that you can get with frets. Things where you're dragging a harmonic or just dragging chords. And you end up writing different kinds of riffs and different types of songs based on that. So it will lead to a whole different angle as far as writing stuff and just the way you approach whatever you're playing over. So yeah.
So you just came off the Guns N' Roses tour,
Which
which was a pretty long tour.
It was alright, yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you had to pick one special moment from that tour right now, what would it be?
What was a good moment? We just played Salt Lake City, and show ended, everybody went back, I was staying behind, I had 2 friends with me, we were just hanging out in the hospitality room, and then one of them said, "You know what, let's go up to the mountains." I was like, "You know what, fuck it, let's do that." So it was about 5 in the morning we left, and we drove up to this 9,000 foot mountain up to the top, and there was a spa up there, and we got naked, and we jumped in this big giant spa hot tub while the sun was coming up, snowing down on us, heat coming up, and it was just these beautiful mountains around you, and it was just a beautiful experience. And from that point on, I was like, it was kind of just one of the changing things where I was like, you know what, as far as this tour goes, from this point on, all I'm gonna do is have a good fucking time. And I've been doing that ever since.
Now, speaking of a good time, you recently did have a car accident last year.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Well, right now, pretty numb, so that's good. You know, it's just a question of dealing with pain management and trying to find what works, whether it's painkillers or muscle relaxers or acupuncture or surgery or a combination of all different things, or like deep tissue massage or I mean, anything, or just certain exercises. And for me, I found what works is whiskey. So I just keep a constant simmer going with that, and everything is okay, and there's no mind-bending pain that makes me want to just fucking stab myself in the face. And I could be functional. So, yeah, I mean, I just do that. I'm doing that right now, in fact.
Now, on your website, you've been releasing like a single at a time, you know, through the last year or so, and I noticed that a lot of them are 60s songs. You get the Pink Panther theme. You got a great cover of There's a Kind of Hush. You do Bernadette. What do you like about 60s music so much?
Well, I mean, back in the 60s, they wrote great songs. It was all about the songwriting. You didn't measure the quality of a song by its angst or by a specific rhythm. It was all about the emotional content, what was being said, the melodies, and it's something that I always appreciated, and it's something that I just always wanted to just pay my own tribute to and just do it. Yeah.
I love your version of There's a Kind of Hush. Really, really great.
That one, I know Hermits did it first in '66, but Engelbert Humperdinck did a cover of it, and that's the one that inspired the version I did. Like that very kind of cheesy lounge, I love old cheesy lounge shit. So yeah, that's what I went for, is that kind of vibe, but just with this contrast of, I love the contrast. So, yes.
So last question, not to give away any secrets, but are you working on your signature model soon?
No, I haven't worked on jack shit, but maybe I should. All I've been working on is just doing a lot of touring with Guns. In between, I've been doing a lot of producing. I produced a Mexican artist named Pac, P-O-C. Her album will be out soon. The drummer of Guns, Frank Ferrer, played drums on it. I did all the music. I co-wrote some stuff, some backing vocals. It's gonna be a really cool album. I just did Scarface, the rapper from the Ghetto Boys.
Oh wow.
We just did an album. I did some guitar on it, did the final mixing and the mastering and everything. Did that. So yeah, and then putting out my song a month things. So between putting out my own music, doing the producing, and hitting the road with Guns, I'm staying pretty damn busy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Always a pleasure, man. Finally, we get to do this face to face.
My Jersey friend.
Yeah.
This is Joe Basso with Music Radar, and I'm here with Ron Bumblefoot Thal at the NAMM show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much.